Chill Sunday. We are live officially. Chill Sunday. We're going to do, for the most part, a non political show with special guest, friend of show. And I got to tell you, this is my first time really telling you thank you so much. It was Casual Goat's idea for the Discord. He put all the memes in there, and we're trying to get it popping off. How you doing, Casual Goat, friend of show?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm just hanging out. It's the weekends are nice. I get to relax from welding all week and just sort of hang out, fuck around on my computer. Most of the usual shit that we do.
Yep. That's good. How's the welding going? So if you don't know this show, we're just going to be chit-chatting, casual. You can put stuff in the chat. It will be non-political for the most part. But I remember when you told me you got the welding job. How's that going?
It's all right. I think at first it was kind of it was a little frustrating. So like, I don't know how much you know about welding. I mean, okay, so a lot of people, like, when they look at welding, it's somebody who's stick welding. You've got a long stick attached to this sort of like clamp thing that's got electrodes in it, and you're laying it down, you strike it, and it starts up this crazy arc that you can see through your hood, and then it eats away metal. Essentially what welding is you're digging away at the metal using the heat and then filling it back in using the melted metal that's occurring from all the electricity. And so there's stick welding, there's MIG welding, and there's TIG welding for the most part. Stick, you literally have a stick, you burn it in, clean off the slag, boom. That's normally for like structural stuff, like big I-beams on bridges and shit like that. And there's no way I'm not going to go work on a bridge. I'm good on any of that. They're going to like hold you up with straps on your body. Sometimes you got to hang off the edges of stuff and be in there like welding overhead. I'm good on all that. Then there's MIG welding, which is what I do for a job. And MIG welding is this machine with a lead and a little sort of like gun-shaped handle with a trigger on it. And it's got a big spool of wire inside that's probably like 30 pounds or something of wire. And it feeds through when you click the button. And then when it connects to the metal, you just sit there and pull it. You can do little things. You can do little like C shapes or half moon shapes. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. And that, I think, is a lot easier because you just click and go. Like, you're not having to do a lot of the extra stuff that other welding is. It's really fun. I like it a lot. And there's a lot of different kinds of MIG welding that you can do. We have two different processes we use at my job. One is called pulse, and one is just called short circuit. So short circuit is the normal average welding. It sounds like a taser, and it's like splashing sparks up in your face and you're laying it down. And then there's pulse, which sounds like a really angry bee, and that lays out this really hot, liquidy, flat stuff. It's kind of hard to tell. You have to see it up, in front of you to really understand the differences between them, but it's pretty cool. And then there's TIG welding, and TIG welding is what I'd like to get into because TIG welding is where the money is. And that's like, it's a lot closer to almost sewing or something, because you actually have a pedal that you sit at your foot to control the temperature of the electricity that's going through it. And you've got a gun in one hand that's got a little bit of tungsten rod inside of it, and you have your metal in the other hand. And you do is you like put down your little gun, click the trigger, and let a spark go. But you can't let your tungsten touch the metal, otherwise you got to grind out the tip and everything, and it'll corrupt it. And then you dip in the stick, and you sit there kind of doing these little motions and dip in and motion and dip in. It's pretty interesting. It's very difficult for me to do, especially aluminum, because aluminum is wild. I never knew anything about metalworking or any of this kind of stuff before I stepped into my trade school that I went to. But aluminum takes a really long time to heat up. And then once it does heat up, it's super hot for a really long time. It's really strange. And so with TIG welding with aluminum, you have to let it go, heat up, and then go. You got to move, and you cannot stop going until you get to the end. Otherwise, you'll like blacken the metal over, and the welds will be really junky. And it just, I have some pretty bad TIG welds. I'm definitely not very good at it, but I have a lot of fun doing it. And in my job, we work with, were you going to say something?
Oh, no. I was like, I don't know anything about this. Do you have to go to more school to do the TIG? Is it TIG?
Yes, it's TIG. It stands for things I don't remember anymore, because once you're in the job and you say TIG, MIG, or stick, people understand, so you don't have to think about it. And I just, yes, aluminum is dirty. I don't like it very much. It's definitely pretty frustrating. There's also MIG aluminum with the gun that I use as well. And that was easier, but definitely still pretty difficult to mess with because you just can't stop. You have to keep going, but you have to keep a steady pace. And with welding, you can't go too fast or too slow. Too slow, you'll build it up. You'll get cold rolls, which means like the metal, normally you want the metal flush and flat against the side, like this. But a cold roll will kind of bump it over like this. You don't want that. You want flush, not bumped over. And if you go too quickly, you'll have undercut, which is where you're digging into the metal, but then you're not filling it back in. So you'll have these little tiny like divots that look like they were scooped out of the side of the metal. And you don't want that either, because that can cause, like water can get in there and it can get rusted out and pockets can occur and stuff. It's crazy. There's a lot that goes into welding. It's definitely not the job I even thought I'd end up doing. I mean, my mom always thought I'd be a writer. Mm-hmm. Nope. We're just burning metal for hours on end.
But it's valuable to know a trade like that, especially nowadays. I mean, hopefully things don't get too crazy, but hypothetically, the world gets crazy. You've got a skill that is valuable. I mean, a lot of these other white-collar jobs or, all these office-type jobs, I'm looking at the title of some of these people. I'm like, what do you do all day? You've got a trade, like a skill. What made you decide to go into that?
A friend of mine, he was like, he always has really good suggestions for me. Music that he suggested, anime that he suggested, games that he suggested is all great. And so we said, I don't know, why don't you try welding? All right, here we go. So I started looking up a bunch of videos of it, and it seemed pretty cool. And then I just signed up for a class at a school I go to that's sort of like a dual. It's got a high school attached, but then it has adult education stuff there too. They do like small motors, big motors, HVAC, which I believe is like air conditioners and stuff, nursing, and then they have a welding class. So I took that for 9 months. And honestly, to answer something you asked earlier, you don't have to go to school. I don't think a single guy in my shop went to school. Okay, there's one guy that's from my school that also went to this job. But apart from him, everybody else kind of just got into it, or they knew it, through their family or other people that already did weld. And so a lot of jobs just throw you in and start teaching you right there. Depending on what it is, there are some jobs like the ones I want to go to require like 10 years of experience, but school isn't really necessary to do that. However, the school I go to offers me certifications, and how it works with a lot of those certs is that if you get a certification for a specific thing at a job, it's at that job, but you can't take that certification with you to another job. It stays there. So what the school says is, okay, here's your certifications, and you can take them anywhere you want. They're yours for good. And I can go back to the school anytime I want to take more certification tests. So it definitely just allows me for a lot more movement and freedom to do things. And interestingly, with TIG, there are no certifications for TIG because it's such a specific type of welding that you'd only get like, I don't know, if I went to Harley or something, they would say, well, you're going to get certified in TIG framework or something like that, but then that wouldn't go with me over to another job. But it's interesting. It's a lot of cool stuff about welding.
Wow. So if everybody jumping in, we're just having a casual conversation with Casual Goats. Now, you do have a YouTube channel. Do you want to promote it? I didn't ask you before.
If people want to go see it, but I think it's borderline getting booted by Susan. I already have I got a community strike a little while ago, and then I made a really spicy video for the community strike that I'm surprised didn't get me another community strike. I definitely kind of ride the line on there a little bit, but I think it's because I have so little subscribers that it just kind of flies under the radar. But it's by the same name, Casual Goats. I'm on there. I'm on Minds. I don't really use Minds like at all. I'm really bad at doing things. I mean, I'm not here to promote my YouTube channel. Like, yo, man, come check this out. I can do this weekly. I get this weekly. Like, I still got to finish my 1984 live reading because my book spine snapped. It's a really old book. And so I was like, all right, we're gonna stop on that. But actually, I can pull it out. I got it here. My girlfriend got me another copy.
Very appropriate for nowadays.
It's very nice, fresh copy.
Oh,
it's
that's beautiful
stuff. Yeah, it's really good. It's sort of like a know if it's like leather on the front, but it's some kind of nice cover that's pretty hard. So I'll get back into finishing this again eventually. But like my channel's pretty inconsistent. I just kind of did it to make memes and happened to blow up in a very minor amount. Like that great episode with Tim Pool and Alex Jones, man, the one with Michael Malice. That was a fantastic episode. It was probably the best Tim Pool episode in the whole thing of Timcast that he's done. I love that one. But there's a bit where Alex just screams into the mic really hard. And so I clipped it. I put it on my channel. And I think in a matter of about a week, it had gotten 27,000 views. And all these people are coming and these like subs are popping. I'm just like, whoa, guys, like chill out. Like, this is not what I'm here for. But I even made a video afterwards. It was like a 400 subscriber special or whatever. And the first bit of it was just pure shit posting weird animation stuff that I did. And the second half of it was me leaning up against a wall with like this really odd like green screen effect and some data moshing stuff and me going, guys, unsubscribe. Just go away. Like, please. I'm not here for that. And I lean forward and like smack the camera really hard. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's a different one. But...
this is a different one?
No, that's the right one. I have two episodes.
Okay. So this is one of the episodes that really is this the first one? I think he had Alex on with Michael Malice, maybe twice, but this
I think
one
it was the first time he had either of them on because I'd never seen Michael Malice before either.
Oh wow. Yep. So this one's 2 years ago. I was pretty new into my channel. I didn't know much about Tim Pool at all. And I didn't know who Michael Malice was at all. This was one of the big red pill moments. I mean, this is just a small clip, but this whole live, like you said, was unbelievable. Here's the clip that Casual Goats put on his channel.
This is a very serious.
Tim, you just said it. Hollywood's telling us this is the only discussion.
I apologize, everyone.
It was
oh man.
That
following is a conversation
that short
with
clip
Whitney coming.
That short clip sums up, like, that show was crazy. And you know how Tim is, he wants to control everything. He couldn't control it.
If you look on my channel, there's a second one that I did of that one. That's pretty funny. The thumbnail alone is great. But that one was like a bit more of an extended version of that has Michael Malice. And man, I love making memes. It's so much fun. And sometimes you just find these like perfect moments and perfect bits together. I just realized I can see the stream comments section. Hello, Katie. And hello, Empress. Why do I choose the name Goat? There was no rhyme or reason to it. Just two words came to my head, Casual Goats, and I threw it in.
How'd you find this channel?
Algorithm.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. Just like slid up to my shit, and I tend to a lot of stuff that shows up. And I'm like, all right, this is not bad. I like it. I also really like the name Stuck in the Middle. That kind of resonated with me a good bit.
Yeah, so the algorithm's not all that bad. I guess it could give it to some people. I think this is the second one, A Normal Day with Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play this.
Globalists have a psychotic, psychological gestalt of who they are. Doesn't mean it's even real in this dimension. It's a psychological impression where they want to sacrifice kids, they want to rape kids because they want to go against God, they want to have power over people. This historically happens. It doesn't mean...
Look, you give me things I can Google search, and I can pull these things up, and I can read these articles.
Tim, just Google raping kids.
You'll
You'll get all kinds of results you like.
I'm good.
Look at the videos tab.
No.
No.
I grew up like this. The hot dog stand 1 block away from me had bulletproof glass with bullet holes in it. So for me, the threshold for FU money is really.
You got the Nick Young meme in the background.
Learned a ton.
I was a little confused. Like, I understand what he was saying. Like, there's impact marks. When you say bulletproof glass with bullet holes in it, I was like, hang on a second. That doesn't quite work out.
When you do lives, and he was, I liked him. I know. I think I liked him way more than probably you do or others. But he was kind of flustered. He couldn't control the conversation. I think he's a lot better now. If he had those two back now, I think he would do better than he did then. But yeah, that was man. I'm gonna go back and watch that. Wait, so what happened? I think he did have them on twice because I think the first one got pulled down.
Yeah, I think the first one was because that was a legendary one because he mentioned Building 7 and everyone started tripping out because when he started talking about Building 7, the stream like lagged out and went down for a little bit and everyone was tripping out in the chat. And I think that's the one where he kept going, I am a gorilla, murder yourself, which I also did another one on that. I made a lot of very interesting videos. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. And then they did the I am a gorilla shirt. And then I don't know if you heard about that.
With
some
the
people,
white hands. Yeah. That was really odd. That whole thing was very strange.
So I just know if you're going to do a gorilla, I'm not sensitive to that. I did not take it that way or even care. But if you're going to do something with gorillas, you got to kind of be careful. But I was not surprised that happened. When I saw that he was going to do that, I was like, just be careful. And of course, because people hate him anyway, so they're going to try and misconstrue it. But friend of the show, Ray, man, Casual Goats, the censorship is crazy, man. Ray his channel got messed up. I think it got removed.
Oh shit!
But so he's under the channel that he and I started. Shout out to Ray. Thanks for the super chat, $2. And what I told him, and let me hear your thoughts on censorship after we do this. What I told Ray was, and anybody, well, I know. Let me talk about Ray particularly. I think Ray is highly talented. And he started a channel, and he's knowledgeable in areas that are touchy to YouTube that I'm not knowledgeable on, so I just don't even talk about often. And his channel, I'm very sure, was heavily shadow banned. But the experience that he got is priceless. Anybody, if you're thinking about doing a YouTube channel, do it, but do Rumble as well. And even Twitter, even though I don't fully trust what Elon's doing with it, I think it will be better than it was before, and you'll have more free speech, and you'll flourish. What do you think about the censorship, Casual Goats?
It definitely freaks me out. Like, the thing I picked up on really hard lately was shadowed comments. Shadowed comments are the weirdest thing. I do not like it whatsoever, because you can see there's comments there, and then you go click down. I only have this on mobile. When it comes to PC, it's a little bit harder for me to tell where there's shadowed comments or not. But it even, like, I noticed it somewhere around my birthday in April. I started kind of picking up on it a little bit. Like, oh, there's all this stuff. Like, I watch, I don't know if you know Memology 101.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he tons of shadowed comments all over the place in his stuff. But then it really started bleeding out of the political sphere into just more normal things. Like, I watch a video about a cat. Boom, there's shadowed comments. It's like, okay, what's going on here? This is kind of crazy. Though I was thinking recently, so I just uploaded a video to my alternate channel today. And now when you have the hold inappropriate comments button, which I never do, I just allow all comments.
Same here.
There's a new beta test thing that says like a stricter mode. I'm like, geez, they're really flying in. But then I wonder if the hold inappropriate comments thing makes it so that the comments exist but don't exist. I'm not really sure. I've never tried to mess around with it and really test it. But now I'm wondering if that's why I see shadowed comments rather than other places. But there's some things where it just wouldn't make sense why you would hold inappropriate comments, because it's totally innocuous content. I don't know.
That tends to happen with censorship. It does not stop. Like it doesn't stop. It goes on till infinity. Like there's never a time when you censor somebody and you just say, okay, I'm done with the censorship. It will go to cat videos and another thing is, I said we're going to do a non-political live today. Is that even possible, Casual? Like everything has to do with politics. Like I can't say I like cars without it being political.
Yeah, and I think in some way there are some topics that are like unavoidable in relation. Like they say politics is downstream for culture or whatever, but I think it's more like an ocean. You know what I mean? There's just a really vast amount of space, and there are things in their own sections, but sometimes they creep out into other sections that are all over the place. You know, so it's it would be pretty hard for most topics to discuss them without being political, but you can still do it depending on what it is. You know, there are some things that literally couldn't possibly be political. Like we're talking about, I don't know, say that tree that's actually a huge fucking organism in another continent. I don't remember where that is, but it's a tree that's connected underneath by the roots. So it looks like a whole bunch of trees over a forest, but it's actually just one big tree. You know, so you can talk about something like that and it's not going to be political, but it's hard to even talk about video games without politics creeping into it. So
Yeah,
and that's honestly, I think that's a big part of what people call cultural Marxism, because that
DC gonna DC.
That makes it so that politics purposely bleed into everywhere. Because I think it was because Short Fat Otaku goes on about this. Love that guy.
Oh, you put me on to him.
I really like his political content a lot. It's very good, very well thought out stuff. Sometimes he's got a little bit of dumb takes, in my opinion, but it's not like I'm expecting him to just be the biggest brain guy in the world. You know what I mean? Most of his stuff is still pretty good. But
we all have dumb takes, so let me be clear. He is brilliant. Yeah.
He put me on to knowing about Antonio Gramsci, who was, I think, like a French communist of some sort.
Yep.
But he wrote this book called like the Prison Diaries, and in it he kind of coined this idea of cultural Marxism, where you must push like the normal common proletariat into political stuff. You push political stuff in every single aspect, because when they don't really have anywhere else to turn, you sort of corner them into that position of trying to push them over into like the revolution and, getting them all hyped up. I mean, 1984 brings it up too in similar ways, that it's always pushed everywhere. You know what I mean? Like the message, whatever that message is at the time, which is pretty funny, because I was just now thinking of this actually. I like the I support the current thing meme, and that's pretty like, it's the same as what happened in 1984. So there's a point in 1984 towards like the middle-ish, but there's this whole rally going on for a week, and they're talking about, look at me going 1984, not remembering it, so I might get the details incorrect, but they're discussing like an enemy, because there's like Oceania and the other two nations that they're in war against. And in the middle of the guy speaking through the megaphone to the crowd, someone comes up to him and whispers something in his ear. And like without missing a beat, he switches up the country that they're targeting and talking about in this. And then like all around, the banners suddenly get replaced by the banners of the other country. And nobody even notices. And the crowd all shifts their chanting over to the other country without even skipping a beat, And it's like, wow, that is the current thing meme. And it's kind of, we're talking about memes. This kind of goes into what I like to call meme magic. And I think it's something that Sargon coined, where memetics kind of can occur really naturally, and this is one of those natural memes that picked up again is the current thing meme that was in a book years ago, and just here it rolls again. It's very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And you talk about it bleeding into culture. I was watching one of the people who I think is the best is right here, Young Rippa, at talking about it, because he's a comic book guy. And this is a character in the comic book. I'm not familiar with her. Looks like an Amazon. The woman is black and a lesbian. And listen to this, how he describes it here.
And yeah, they're for sure about to do a lot with this character. That's generally what happens with DC when they start just throwing them in front of every fucking thing. She's going to be, trust me, they're going to do a lot of things. But in this book, what they do, and again, not the way to write the female heroine or the heroine, is that she can do fucking no wrong in this book. None. Like when I talk about literal perfection, but also writing the character, this is the worst that this happens like this. They write all of these known characters around her, basically having to validate her existence. And it was obviously an effort by way, I don't know if it was just a writer and an inability, or if it was one of those things where DC's like overheads, like, you need to do this. But like right here, this is Martian Manhunter. This is also Black Adam, who's in the Justice League now, says, what an exhilarating outing. This is after this fight that had occurred in this story. Queen Nubia, you were excellent. Like Martian Manhunter saying that. I'm forced to agree, says fucking Black Adam. You can be proud of your work today. Like, but I didn't get every clip of this happening, because it happened a lot in this book. Here's another example. Martian Manhunter. Masterful aim, Nubia. To hit the ground around him, but the beast itself, but not the beast itself, just a remarkable shot. Like, why is Martian Manhunter talking like that?
So that's a clip there. He's talking about, I don't know this character, but how it just bleeds into, that's basically what the Democrat Party has boiled down to. I know you don't follow the politics too much though, but my opinion, I've said it even before I've seen all that, the Democrat Party has boiled down to this fake worship of black women and those who kind of pretend like that's the ideal person. And you see it in a comic book. The Martian the Manhunter talking in that way. And you also said you saw it in Minecraft, basically.
Oh yeah.
What did you see in Minecraft?
Okay, so I noticed it around when the pandemic started up. I was in California at the time. It was terrible. Mostly the lockdown stuff. The rest of it, who cares? But anyways, so when you start up Minecraft, there's these on the main menu. There's these things called splash text, and it's a little yellow text that comes diagonally across the side of the title card like this. And so they say all kinds of different stuff. Sometimes it's funny referential things, memes, whatever. It's stuff that the Mojang dev team comes up with and then puts in a file list that it then pulls randomly from. And I think the first one I noticed was like help your grandparents or something like that.
Like,
and then it kind of ticked in my head like, oh yeah, old people are like having the biggest issue with pandemic stuff right now. And then so that was kind of odd. Then there was another one that was like stay indoors and wash your hands. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a little bit weird. We're getting strange. And then it kicked in when the Summer of Love happened. That was wild. There was one that I still see it ever so often that says support your local black businesses. And okay, so first off, Minecraft is a game made by Swedish people based in Sweden. I don't think there are many black people there, I gotta say. So
no, they're not. And they're very nationalist. They don't play with like other types of people.
Yeah, and I get that the game and the studio, like a lot of the popularity is here in America. And so that's probably where they were mostly aiming it towards. And I think it's because they have that concept in their head where I have a platform, and so I have to, stand on the platform and announce my thing to everybody because, oh no, I've got so much influence. And it's like, well, you could just not. You could just not do that because that'd be pretty cool. And so there's a couple others. I've made so many different videos. I've got like 2 or 3 small videos on seeing like the Minecraft text at the side as well, because it's just really frustrating that like it's a game, guys. Come on. This is where what I see from a lot of people in the more media entertainment side of these kinds of politics, where it's like, dude, we're just trying to play the games. We wanted to escape from the real world and go hang out and play some blocks or go kill dragons or shoot stuff, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's your entertainment and escape from your normal shit and taking a break. And when you have to, again, cultural Marxism, they slide it in there. Oh yeah, there's that one too. I think there was like 2 or 3 I made.
This is one I found real quick. Let's play this. What we're seeing here.
So I've spent the better half of a year dealing with Microsoft and Minecraft and how horrifically awful Microsoft is at doing anything. It's taking a lot for me to not just list a slew of words that I would have for Bill Gates and his company. But after the failures of remote connecting and the failures of attempting to do anything with this shitty version of Minecraft, I have no respect left for Microsoft, and leave it to these guys to be racist enough to tell us to amplify and listen to BIPOC voices.
So I'm going to pause it. On the Minecraft game, it literally says amplify and listen to BIPOC voices.
Yeah,
yes.
And that's
thank you.
Like there's I think another one was stand up and speak out against racism. I was like, well, duh. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, you could be chill. You just don't have to be racist. You know what I mean? It's pretty all right. You don't have to do that. It's pretty frustrating. There's I just don't know why they feel the need to stick it in there and why anyone does. And I think again that goes into this, and Dev talks about the public versus private, and a portion of like really kind of radical leftists to not view you having any privacy, which is interesting because communism and socialism doesn't really like privacy either, and neither does the state. You know, it all just kind of rolls together and fits very well into what's going on and how it's just going into other stuff. Like I was having a good chuckle there when we were watching Ripa, because that character is what I have been calling the new black, but like NU black. So it's kind of like a play on the concept of the new metal genre, which is a new metal. But anyways, the new black woman is a tall, skinny, very dark-skinned woman with glasses that are usually big and circular and an afro. And she tends to be pretty quirky and pretty talented. And I have seen this in Fortnite. I've seen it in Magic the Gathering. I have seen it right here in this comic. I've seen it on various ads that we get. Like, it's everywhere. And once you pick up on it, it's like when you see that like redheads are getting replaced by black women. It's just, hang on, man. I'm noticing these really odd patterns of these, like, I can't tell if it's forced or natural, because it's all the same trope of a woman that I see that I call the new black woman. And it's very strange. And it's all like cultural bleeding stuff where everything kind of meshes together. Yeah, and I think that's not happening just because we're in such a, comfortable society, I guess. You know what I mean? So people start doing other things and shit like this comes out right here. You know what I mean? The massive list of gingers that have been replaced by black people.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence, y'all. Like, the thing that frustrates me is that people will kind of look at you and I and think that we're the crazy one. I'm like, I've had enough of that. Look at what we're seeing here. I am not the crazy one. I don't know I'm not alleging a conspiracy. I'm just saying that this is statistically improbable that this is just happenstance. Redhead dude, redhead women, all replaced by what you might consider black characters.
Yeah, it's, and like I wouldn't know if it's a purposeful thing or it just and because it's all in media, a lot of these people are connected. So I wonder if like one person started doing it and it just kind of kept occurring or not. It'd be really hard to say that everyone is conspiring to just replace gingers. It seems like a pretty niche thing to want to do.
I don't know what's happening, but I will say that I don't believe in it being a coincidence. It's just we've seen too many of it for it to be me. But you sent me this clip here from the game I used to play. Haven't looked back at it in a long time. Do you want to set this up for what we're going to watch here from? It's a clip from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Well, okay, I'll set it up by saying I don't know just about anything about Metal Gear Solid. You had to ask my girlfriend for that. She's a very Metal Gear person. I am not. But this clip is essentially talking about memetics, as in not just haha, look at the funny cat meme, but the idea of ideas rapidly transferring around between a lot of people and being adapted by those people. Memetics are very interesting. Like, I've gone as far as saying you could call religion memetics. It's pretty wild. So it's a very good clip from a game, and all of his games are like this. They're too based. Hideo Kojima is a wild man. Like, all of his games are really crazy and just have these really interesting political concepts inside of them that are just very good. That's why Metal Gear Rising is so popular, and the guy from it, the senator, is such a popular guy. We're talking about a guy that said "Make America Great Again" before Trump said it. Like, that's crazy to me. It's just, and again, there's kind of feels like meme magic. You know what I mean? I don't know if Trump, like, if somebody suggested to him, "Hey, make America great again," or if he just popped it out of his head. Who knows? But it's great that we've got these kind of aligning things. It's very funny.
Yep. Here's the clip.
There are things not covered by genetic information.
So it might be hard to hear. I tried to turn the volume up, but I'll read over it. It says, "But there are things not covered by genetic information," and it's going to go on here.
What do you mean? Human memories, ideas, culture, history.
Genes don't contain any record of human history.
Is it something that should not be passed on? Should that information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives, through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets to books.
But not all the information was inherited by later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike genes, really.
That's what history is, Jack.
But in the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right. You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context?
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths.
This is bananas. I'm gonna bring it back here for a second. This game came out like 20 years ago, about 2001 or something like that. The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards
development of convenient half-truths.
Development of convenient half-truths. Whoa.
Just look at the strange juxtapositions of morality around you.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely murder other humans.
Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
Bruh, that's freaky. That's crazy, man. That's from a video game I probably played 20 years ago. Maybe probably skipped through those scenes, those long talking scenes. What made you think, because you thought of that when I had C3P meme on.
Yep. Because I don't remember exactly what you guys were talking about because I was in the middle of working and I had my headphone in just listening to you guys. But you had almost touched on the concept of or just a deeper thing of memes. And once my brain latches onto something, it'll just go. And I started thinking about that again. So I was like, yo, got to share this with people because it's definitely pretty crazy. And it's funny because a lot of the stuff that he says sounds pretty similar to things that are in 1984. And I think it's not so much that it was prophetic as it was things that were already happening and just an observation and then taken to its point of extremities. And that's kind of that is what 1984 does it, because people are like, oh no, it's about socialism and communism. And I'm like, well, yeah, he wrote it as a sort of a response to where he saw the Socialist Party going because he was a part of the Socialist Party, but it was more so an observation of authority taken to its extreme and censorship and, control of language taken to its extreme. But it was still things that he saw that were going on that are still going on now. And it's sort of like that history doesn't repeat itself. It more so rhymes, so I think it's just an ongoing thing. And the new generations are going, wow, it's crazy. Been going on for a while.
Yep. I feel the same way because I was for me, I woke up, about 2 years ago, but there's a lot of people who've been awake and they're like, you late to the party. And I kind of feel like I'm catching up really to all this stuff. even though long time ago read 1984, and we basically had the Ministry of Truth, basically, right? When then they tried to do that with the Disinformation Governance Board. Mm-hmm. And I think they were a little surprised at the pushback because they were already doing it on big tech. They just put like a big, an official title to it. And they're like, whoa, everybody's that surprised. We've already been doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that with Wikipedia because almost the moment that Ellen Page became Elliot Page, Wikipedia changed everything from previous iterations from Ellen Page to Elliot Page. It was all changed he and him rather than she and her. And it's like, well, they're literally doing what the Ministry of Truth does right there. Because Winston takes articles and then just rewrites things, changes some words and stuff, and like throws it back in, and then they put that into the archives is what it is, because it's he who controls the past controls the present, and he who controls the present controls the future. So Wikipedia already does it. They've been doing it for a while apparently. They're pretty on that.
Yeah, when Wikipedia first launched, I thought it was great. Going way back decades ago. I was like, man, this is cool. It's an online encyclopedia. I grew up in an age where we weren't well enough to order the Encyclopedia Britannicas, but people would go door to door selling these big encyclopedias, and we would buy them, the old versions, and I loved just going through the encyclopedias, and I'm like, man, this is like an online version, crowdsourced truth. Even back then, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then it morphed into what it is now, which is basically it is sourced, but it's sourced through the material from basically corporate media that funnels through this whole ideology, and it's become almost worthless as a resource.
And it's not even just political stuff. So, for instance, we were watching some anime the other night, and something was brought up about a kunai, which is a weapon that's like used by ninjas and stuff. And so I looked it up and went to the Wikipedia link, and there was a whole bit about how they used to be farming tools, but then they were turned into ninja tools. And all the little bits where it would normally have a little number that takes you down to the bottom and show you articles, every bit of it said citation needed. I'm like, well, how am I even supposed to know if this is true or not? Because the information is here, but there's no citations or source information for it. So Wikipedia is kind of not even just on a political side. It's just not really a good source of information, like at all, at least maybe anymore. And I mean, I remember when I was a kid, teachers would tell me, don't use Wikipedia for your research projects. So it's kind of been known, I think, for a while that Wikipedia can be resourceful for some things, but you got to go through and check where the articles are coming from. Because there was something I was looking up with the political thing, and one of the links linked to a YouTube video. So I clicked on the YouTube video. It had like 1,000 views, and half of the comments were telling this person how she was wrong about the political thing she was talking about, and there was like a bunch of dislikes on it over likes. And so that's, from what I'm seeing here, this is incorrect, even though it's being cited in Wikipedia as a correct thing, and it kind of loops back into itself as a citation. It's just like, well, I can't trust this. I don't know what I'm supposed to read to be able to understand this.
Yep. But are you a gamer yourself? What are you enjoying as far as like gaming? I've been out of touch with games. I kind of want to get back into it if I can, but what are you enjoying right now?
I'm pretty picky with games. I mean, I didn't grow up playing like a ton of video games. I had a couple of games on the PlayStation that I really liked. I had Game Boy games. I grew up playing Pokemon, like since I was a little kid. I still play Pokemon now. I have my Switch behind me for the new Pokemon game that came out, Scarlet version, which is better because I think Pokemon's been on a bit of a decline, but that game's pretty good. On my computer, I really like playing Minecraft. That's a lot of fun. That game's real fun. I've been playing one called Ultra Kill, which might be, I think, one of the greatest shooters I've ever played in my life. It's styled like old school Doom, and I think from the descriptions, it's kind of like Doom in a game called Killing Floor, which I've never played, but people really like. And basically, you're a robot who's fueled by blood, and all the humanity's dead, and hell is full of dudes with blood. That's the description of the game. And so it's really crazy because it's a shooter, but you can do wacky stuff. Like you can parry shots that are coming at you. You can punch them and ching, like fly back at the enemy. You can jump and hop all over the place doing like wall bounces and power slides and stuff. And it's really like wacky in its technicalities. Like one of the crazy guns I'm trying to learn to use right now is called a coin gun. And so you flick a coin with your right click buttons. I use mouse and keyboard for a lot of what I play. And if you shoot the coin, the coin reflects the shot to an enemy into a critical spot. And so you could do really crazy stuff where you're like, flink, 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 shoot, and it'll go into dudes. It's a really nutty game. You can even do crazy stuff like you flick the coin and then swap out to your railgun and then shoot it. And the railgun shot will reflect off of the coin. You can punch the coin. It's crazy. Like there's really deep mechanics where it's on the surface, just this is a fun shooter. But if you really get into it, it's very complicated and pretty intuitive in how you can mess around with it and do stuff. And the soundtrack's really good, and the story, what of it that I'm seeing is really good. Like I just fought the Angel Gabriel, and it's so great because he's just like running around in the fight, just bitching at you, like, you know, you're a robot, you can't, you disrespect God by existing and all this. And then when you kill him, he just goes, "You insignificant fuck," and then it clips over to the bit about him getting rejected by like the High Court of Angels. And, oh, it's so great. It's a really wacky game.
What's the name of that game again?
It's called Ultra Kill.
Ultra Kill. I've never heard of it. Okay. Do you know who makes it?
A guy named Hikari. It's like more of an indie game, which is a lot of the games that I play. And it's super fun. The soundtrack is really good. It's got a lot of the genre breakcore, which I love breakcore. It's a very fun electronic genre. It's really exciting. There's a demo for it. The demo is really long, actually. It's like the whole first act. You can play through it. Yeah, it's really good. Ultra Kill is a fantastic game. Oh, Markiplier.
Is this Ultra Kill here?
Yeah.
Wow, it looks smooth. Wow. You know, I grew up playing Doom, the original Doom. I played Doom. It was the first shooter I ever played was Doom. I forgot the other game we used to play. I think it was Quake on Mac. We used to play back in the day, like all the time, like in the 90s. So it's kind of cool to see it like this. Wow, it's fast paced. Looks smooth.
It's really intense, dude. He's trying to, as he's punching, he's trying to parry. There, he parried a shot. It's pretty intense. And the thing is that you'll notice his health is going down, but if he gets close to the enemy and gets blood rained on him, he heals back up.
Wow.
And so it promotes a very aggressive play style of getting into your enemies to get healed back up. And it's really fun.
That's a great game design. I'm out of the loop with shooters. I haven't played since like Call of Duty maybe 5 years ago or something. But that's a good idea. Like you said, if you're close enough where the blood splatters on you, it actually regens you. So it rewards like close up, battle up close.
Yeah. In fact, another game that does that is called Bloodborne, which is from the guys that make the Dark Souls games. And that's the whole style of it, is that if you want to heal yourself after you get hit, rush in and smack the crap out of them, and then you'll get some of your health back, which I like that. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool than like, oh no, I need to find a healing pack, or I've got to do something to heal myself. No, just kill them and you'll heal yourself. It's good.
Yeah, because in these games, if you don't play video games, people will hide or run and do all that kind of sniping, which is cool, but to balance it out, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a really fun game.
Cool. Is that a PC only, or?
Yeah, I hope it goes to console, and I think a lot of people would really enjoy that game.
Cool. Yeah. What else are you playing? Are you strictly PC, or you said you had a Switch?
Yeah. My Switch collects dust for the most part, because honestly, I'm not really big into a lot of Nintendo games. I played a couple of Mario games when I was younger, but again, most of what I play is Pokemon. So like my GameCube has just Pokemon games. I have a Wii that was there, so in case I wanted to play my GameCube games on my Wii, my Switch I've got a couple of games in there I really like Hyper Light Drifter, but I own that on PS4, Switch, and PC because I wanted to be able to play that anywhere I go. Hyper Light Drifter might be one of my favorite games of all time. It's not even that long. It's just the art style is really good. The music is really good. There's no dialogue whatsoever, but you really learn a lot about the story just by playing the game and seeing your surroundings. I have like Mario Kart on there. Mario Kart's a classic though.
Yeah.
I'm not even a racing game kind of guy, but I love Mario Kart.
Everybody loves Mario Kart. I know young Ripple plays it a lot. A lot of people. My wife doesn't like video games. She'll even play that. I like it in the arcade. They have them in the little bowling alley arcade by me. So cool. There was a video game award show recently, right? I'm not too familiar with it. Were you watching it or?
Yeah, Short Fat Otaku streamed it, so I went and watched his stream where he'll stream with his girlfriend and his video editor. They play games as well, but they'll also do stuff like stream the Game Awards, and it's it probably was better at some point, but I think it's really slogged down with advertisements, which is just annoying to see. I don't care about advertisements, and the votes are, I don't play a lot of games, so I don't really care that much, but I was a little excited for this year because Elden Ring had just come out. And Elden Ring, of course, got Game of the Year because it's a fantastic game. I love Elden Ring. I'm not even great at Dark Souls games, but that one I really like playing. And I mean, honestly, the highlight was the Bill Clinton kid at the very end of it. I don't know if you've seen memes about this or anything, but so at the very end, the guys for Elden Ring came up to accept the award, and there was somebody standing behind them who was not Japanese. Everyone's like, who is this kid? What is this guy? And when they accepted the award and they went to step away, this kid moved up towards the mic and said, I'd like to dedicate this award to my favorite Reformed Orthodox rabbi, Bill Clinton. And the crowd just kind of was really confused for a moment. And then a number of people clapped. And then you could see these guards come up and take the kid away. And then Jeff Keighley, the announcers, just kind of went on with the show, totally ignoring what just happened. And it was really strange. What's interesting later is that this kid was somebody named Matan Evan, who got known for, he was wearing a Free Taiwan shirt somewhere. He got interviewed by somebody on InfoWars later about it.
Really?
And Short Fat Otaku just did an interview that I totally missed out on. I'll have to go back and check it. But it actually he wasn't just some random kid. At first it's oh yeah, just whoever is somebody. But then you look on it and it's oh, it's this guy who actually was kind of involved in politics a little bit. But it's so weird because why would you say Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton? It's really confusing. I went and looked up a little bit. I looked up Bill Clinton rabbi. The only thing I could find is that apparently Bill Clinton's been really good friends with the rabbi for 20 years and confided in him in a lot of stuff. So I don't know if the kid was trying to go for some weird angle on that or if he was just being a really strange troll, but it was definitely very odd.
Wow. Is this the clip here? Let's play this and see.
I want to thank everybody and say that I think
Is this fake or is this the right clip?
No, yeah, this is real. This is
Why does it sound? Did he sound like that? Sound like a deep voice for a kid.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award.
So this is just a random person that just came on stage?
Yeah.
How did the kid get to the stage?
A lot of people are actually talking about that more so than what he said, because it's really concerning that somebody can just roll up onto a stage with no security asking hey, who are you or anything. And from the other thing is that the rest of the guys on the team are Japanese. None of them speak English. So I can only assume that they thought he was there for a specific reason, which is why they didn't question any of it. And of course, they probably don't understand what he's saying, except maybe the translator there right behind him.
Everybody.
So you can see it looks awkward. I'm going to play the full clip, but I like looking at body language a lot. It looks awkward.
Yes. The whole thing was really weird.
And then you see this is security, it looks like, right?
Yep. They immediately rolled up.
Wow. Let's play the audio here.
Thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
What the?
I want to thank
Man, I will tell you this. That ain't a troll that I really want to be a part of on a big stage to say the C word. Hillary C, Bill C. I mean, we could say it here, but I'm not going on any stage calling out the C's. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, it was really strange. It was funny because when I was watching the stream, Dev stopped and he said, huh, wait, what did he say? Hang on, we got to back it up. So they backed the whole thing up and just, okay, it was really weird.
Wow. And then, of course, it spawned, I'm seeing memes all over the place. Did you meme that or?
No, but I definitely went and saved a couple memes and shared them around.
All right, cool. Well, I wanted to play on this. I said no politics, but of course we get into a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I want to, this one is really not.
Oh, it's the Goats show now. I have taken over. This is my secret plan the whole time. So if you'll go to Casual Goats and unsubscribe if you are subscribed. Oh, okay. He's back. He's back.
Look at Casual Goats, the professional. Man, I'm telling you, man, I am so bad at this. The thing I don't like about StreamYard is you can actually back out of it without a warning. So I apologize. I'm going to find this clip and I accidentally backed out. But look at Casual Goats, the professional. Picking up the slack. Now let me this is going to be just a warning. There is language in this. This is not going to be the finest moment that you've ever seen on this channel. But if you know the channel and my views on Nancy P, and you'll understand why I have to, when I saw this video, why I have to play it. I saw a little bit of it and I stopped it because I wanted to react to it live. I found this through Flodzilla. Do you listen to Flodzilla at all?
He got a couple of songs that I really, really like. They're super good. I haven't listened to everything he has, but man, the three I listened to, they're very good.
I'm a big fan of Flodzilla and the channel, and I forget the name of the young lady that's with him, so I apologize. I think they're great chemistry. They were doing a reaction to this video that was dope. I forgot the name. Oh yeah, it's from this guy here. It's from a year ago or so, from Samson. So I'm like, damn, this song is dope. It was last night. So I go to the Samson site to see, okay, what other songs might Samson have? Guys, beware. I please don't blame me. I gave you full warning. Turn away, turn off, take your kids away. But this does fit with the theme on the channel.
A real
So let's just go with it.
follicle fountain. A real follicle fountain. What would you say, Samson?
Well, as you know, Cato, when I saw those big, giant, fucking
Cato on the track. I've been watching so much news, I don't know who I should trust. I don't know who's been telling the truth and who's been lying to us. The Biden administration promised everybody they'd unite all of us, but it just feels like we're all way more divided than we've ever been in our lives, and it sucks. I've been watching so much news, it's so hard to rise above. It's so hard to put on a smile when hopes are down and prices are up. Go to the store, go get some gas. Times are tough, how much more do we have to take and pay and give and cry and cuss? I've been watching so much news, I feel like my eyes are stuck. No matter how much I try not to look, I can't keep my eyelids shut. It's got me so confused, I think my mind's going nuts. Because as of lately, you wanna know who I would fuck? Nancy Pelosi. Someone tell that granny to blow me. I'd take out her dentures, put them on the dresser, slide off her panties and proceed. I'd whip out her knockers fast and start throwing uppercuts like a boxing match. I'd grab her by the nipples and I'd flip them up and down into the flapping in the wind, and then I'd spin them all around and go. Have you seen them titties? Every time I think of them things, I'm giddy. She's far from the itty bitty titty committee. Come on, man, she could start her own team in the big leagues. I think about him just to pass the day. Man, I bet those fuckers ain't past the waist. If I laid on the ground with my head by your feet and she dropped them, they'd probably smack my face. People said I'll get killed for this. I don't give a fuck, I take risks. I don't give a damn if Nancy kills me as long as she suffocates me with her kids. AOC is too young for me, and I'd hate to listen to that bitch bicker. Hillary is just plain ugh, but Nancy's got them twin sisters. I wanna get up inside this nympho. We can make love, I'll slide it in slow. I just wanna make some money the fast way and get her to spill some of that insider info. We could go to the bar and get drunk, and I'll drive home after like 20 White Claws. You don't gotta worry about a DUI when you're banging Nancy. Right, Paul? Nancy. Ow! Fuck, I thought I told you to take those dentures. Ow! Fuck in my house. Piss me off. Matter of fact, hey, yo.
What the hell is the problem now?
This ninja is crazy.
Oh, God. That was wild.
That is wild. On YouTube.
Right after he did the brrr, that was tight.
That might be the end of the channel, man. They might be like, anybody who plays that or is associated, shadow ban. Boom. But I think it's worth it. If that's the outro for the channel, I think it's worth it. Rex Chapman blocked me. I don't know if you heard about Rex Chapman had that awkward comment about Nancy Pelosi. He had an awkward, I forgot exactly what it was, but he was like, it made it seem like he thought she was attractive or something like that, sexy. And I was like, I replied to Rex Chapman. He's a former NBA player. And I was like, bet I do too. And, you know, I kind of joke about it because of how ruthless she is. I think her ruthlessness is why she's sexy. But then he blocked me because he didn't like it. And Rex, that song is for you and me. I would be able to at him and show him that song. That's wild. Any thoughts?
That was pretty good. I like it. Very based. It was really good rapper. Like the flow was very nice, and then when he started speeding up real hard and then went to the like that was very impressive. Definitely he's got some skill.
Let me show. Do you have a second to listen to this other song?
I got all the time in the world.
Okay, let's listen to this and then we'll wrap up. I told my wife I'd do an hour. I got to split, put this in with family time and all that. So this is the song that I heard Flawed.
Calvin, can we watch it?
This is the song I heard Flawdzilla react to that made me find out about Samson. To me, take a look at this. This to me is fire right here.
Calvin, can we watch it?
Man, you think I should come in with it? Man, I wish that I was just okay. Man, I wish that I was as smart as celebrities. Imagine having all that brain power, the things they can do in 1 minute. And if I were to do it, it'd take hours. They're on a whole nother level when it comes to being a bold intellectual, so intelligible. I have trouble keeping up with them. They deserve gold medals. They have such big heads, and I don't mean egotistical. I mean that the brains are so big, it's probably hard for it to even fit in their skull. And that's why they're always high strung and freaking out at the paparazzi. It ain't cause they're mean, it's just cause their brain's so goddamn big that it's always throbbing from constantly solving our country's problems. What would we do without them? I don't know. We'd be stuck on a big piece of land that nobody here has a clue how to run. We'd be fucked. And how would you know who to vote for without somebody telling you? You probably have to do your own research. Now that's bullshit you don't want to delve into. You probably have to go and actually look at the policies of each individual candidate to make sure y'all agree and see if you be cool with everything they would do. Because if they fuck up, who's paying for it? You. Us. Ordinary civilians. Look at the debt. We're buried in trillions. Their children are gonna be set. But yours, they ain't inheriting millions. I don't know, man. Everyone has an opinion, but who in their right minds would trust somebody who acts for a living? The ones who are posting on Twitter, you ain't in my circle if you fake, are the same ones who take life advice from people that are literally two-faced. I got a toothache, cause I'm always biting my tongue. If I don't stop, I'll chew through the bitch. Yes, everybody has an opinion, but yours happens to be stupid as shit. The ones who live the most privileged life are the very last ones that should give advice. It's easy to tell little folks what to do when you're up top looking at the city lights. You and I are total polar opposites. I'm a nobody, no one knows I exist. You're a multi-million-dollar mogul making loads of money. If you want it, you buy it. I gotta second guess myself if I wanna go splurge and buy Chick-fil-A. The amount I can save if I went to Wendy's is a big deal to me. It's like night and day. Why the hell would I listen to you? I'm broke as fuck and you're filthy rich. Nothing affects you the way it affects me, so I don't wanna hear your silly shit. Fuck you. I don't buy any of your fake smile whenever you talk to the camera. Listen to you, I'd rather have Governor watch my grandma. You live in a bubble, it's been a minute since you've been through the struggle. You lost your touch, you must be off that stuff. If you think you and I have things in common, fuck your pretentious self. Nobody asked you for your hand or to lend your help. If you want everything to be so equal, then hey, how about you spread the wealth? You got a lot, you don't need all that. Folks on the block, they could eat off that. Instead of endorsing people you don't know shit about, how about you fork it up and give a little back? I ain't talking about giving out turkeys, no. I'm talking about big amounts, earnings. Walk the streets and start handing out wads of relief instead of just interviewing bitch. Look at all these activists, y'all must be college graduates. I wonder what kind of law you practice, or do you just study politics? I'm asking cause you know so much. No you don't, I speak on behalf of a vast majority. We don't wanna hear you lecture us about shit. Don't act like you have authority. Please don't. Just act accordingly. Yes. Stick to acting and rapping horribly. Yes. You're so detached from normalcy, nothing you say is that important to me. I ain't talking about all of them though. This is just a select few. There's also a lot that work in silence, and just so you know I respect you. The stage you accept your Oscar on ain't a platform for you to talk so long. Take your trophy and shove it up your ass, say thank you and keep on walking along. The moment that I become famous and rich and I'm living the life of Riley, when it comes to politics I'll shut the fuck up. Cause I know that most situations won't apply to me.
This is graphic. Warning, this is graphic.
Man, I was... Son of a bitch. What the fuck? We got him. Fuck you. Yeah, he's a thinker. Yeah, well, he's out here thinking. Go fuck yourself. You want us to kill him or pay him?
Bruh. I don't know who this dude is, but that's hip hop, man. You want to know why I love hip hop? It's stuff like that. That's crazy.
I think it's a very good medium to deliver all different kinds of things. I mean, he'd probably be pretty good in a collab with Tom McDonald, honestly.
Oh yeah,
they're definitely on the same vibe there.
Yeah, man. That's what it kind of hurts me to see hip hop being co-opted, just like the magazines and the games and the comics, whatever. At its core, it's an art form that tests the status quo. It doesn't matter who the status quo is, who's in charge. It tests everything, your reality, what they tell us, propaganda, and it's a law. At least at the mainstream level, there's still people doing it. Obviously, you just saw that, and Tom McDonald and others. But Eric July is a rapper too. But
so rap is punk, is what we're saying.
yeah. At its core, I grew up in the grunge. You know, when grunge was big and hip hop. Yeah, they did share that. Even metal. Metal was rebellious back then, and then when the pandemic came, everything was like Black Lives Matter, and it was all uniform thought. But at its core, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of rap. It just sometimes there's a lot of it that I find to be kind of junk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot of the same subjects. This is why I really like, really like MF Doom, because he took the whole thing and threw it on another level. But that guy kind of reminds me a little bit of Watsky as well. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
No.
I first found him doing the Epic Rap Battles of History, which, man, Epic Rap Battles of History were fantastic for the first couple seasons. It's a really fast rapper. It's this whole thing, but his cadence reminds me of that guy a lot too.
Yeah, I know the the rap battles of like two historic figures.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know him, but he's the one that did that. I know those.
Yeah, he didn't do that specifically, but he was in a couple of them, and I think he helped with the writing for some of them. Like the first one he was in was Shakespeare versus Dr. Seuss, and so he was Shakespeare. That was very good.
Man, I haven't watched those in years. I think that was like 20 years ago, or 10 years ago.
It was a little while ago. I think I backed out right around when they did the Hillary versus Trump one, because I came back later and was listening to it. Like, it's a huge L for how they were rapping about Trump. Honestly, like they were talking like, I'm gonna tear down mosques and all this. I'm like, come on, man. You would have been in the TDS pretty hard on that one.
Yeah, those were great videos. But all right, well, Casual Goats, thanks so much, man. A nice Sunday conversation. I will be returning with some politics, social stuff with an upload in a few hours, but this was a good little semi-break. Any final thoughts? I put the Discord in the chat. If you want to hop on, you want to holler at Casual Goats, click on his name, go subscribe to his channel, go to the Discord. Any final thoughts?
Not much. I mean, it was fun doing this. I hope we could do it some more. You can just do like a, semi-consistent kind of, break from politics. There's still going to be some politics stuff in there, but I've got tons of time to do this kind of stuff. I don't stream that much, but it's definitely pretty entertaining.
Oh, absolutely. We'll kind of flesh it out even more. We kind of just did this to get together to chat and maybe do some memes. I love the memes. The memes are so powerful. It's an art form.
Yeah, definitely continue the meme warfare. This is what we have to do, because memes are very powerful. They're really, really cool, but they're also a very good way of, spreading information and also fighting back against this kind of stuff. Like memes are really good at just cutting, like comedy, cutting straight to the point of things. And I think that's a very good way to keep up against a lot of this encroachment that we're experiencing.
It's probably one of the most powerful art forms. That's why I was really interested in C3P Meme, and then yourself, and then all the memesters. I'm kind of chatting with a lot of memesters, and the memester community is what they kind of almost call it. It's powerful.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Casual Ghost. I appreciate it. See, Casual didn't know I was going to play those videos, so hopefully you didn't get too crazed out on that.
No, it's pretty good.
Really cool. All right, everybody. Casual, you can hang on. I'll just say bye to you, and then everybody take care. I'll have an upload in a little bit. Back to kind of some social stuff. Got more Twitter stuff too. The Twitter stuff is, man, it's getting crazy. Dr. Shiva Ayurveda had a live yesterday that was crazy, talking about, he basically agreed with me that Elon Musk is a fraud on the First Amendment, and we got to talk about it. So I'll be in touch with everybody. Take care.